It's Mike Volkin here with Freelancer Masterclass. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Lots of good stuff about freelancing on our channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to consistently win new clients in Upwork. Getting an occasional side hustle job here and there is fine, but if you want to be a full-time freelancer, Upwork can definitely be your key to success. So let me talk to you about some really basic and interesting components to get new clients on Upwork, and some of these you might not do. So let's go ahead and start and see how we can help your business. First thing I want you to do is have a niche. All right, it's very important. If you're targeting everyone, you're targeting no one. That's an age-old marketing saying, but it's so true. If you just say that you're a marketing expert, that doesn't mean anything. Put it this way: if a prospect is posting a job online and he's got 10 people that have applied, 9 of them are generalists, just targeting anybody. And then there's one person targeting a specific industry. Let's just say it's for an auto job, an automobile job, and you have to write automobile blogs, okay? If one person applies that says they are an expert blogger in the automobile industry, that person, no matter what their experience or reviews, will automatically have higher priority in that prospect's mind than the other 9 people. Think about it like that. In a Freelancer Masterclass, we help you find a niche. We have a spreadsheet with over 400, I believe we're up to now, different niches that you can choose from. So if you're not a student yet at Freelancer Masterclass, go to freelancermasterclass.com and apply. Be adamant about testing. For those of you who follow me, you know that I test everything from my profile to my job application, my bid letters. Everything gets tested. So I recommend that you test at least one thing a month or even one thing a week, depending on how often you apply for positions or how adamant you are about logging into Upwork and being on top of everything. But in your profile alone, you can test dozens of different aspects, whether it's keywords in a title, the way you structure certain sentences, the way your pictures in your portfolio. I've tested all sorts of stuff. We go through them at Freelancer Masterclass. It goes beyond the scope of this video, but just know that I test everything, and you should too. In fact, I'm going to be giving you one of my stats that I tested later on in this video here, just a minute. It's super critical important to be fast to respond. When I'm hiring freelancers on Upwork, which I do almost every day now, I'll tell you that the ones who are fastest to respond get my attention the most, even if they're not most qualified. And if you're a newer freelancer trying to get work, this is so important. We teach you at Freelancer Masterclass something called the aggregated listening techniques, which take your most qualified jobs and they pipe them right into priority in your inbox. So you know exactly what to respond to the most targeted jobs that match your skill sets. If you are not that type of person to hang on your email all the time, then you need to hire an assistant that will take the most qualified positions for you and let you know exactly when something reaches your inbox that will match your skill set. So use the aggregated listening technique and be on top of your prospect emails. Prospect jobs that match your specific criteria of what you can service should be the highest priority to what you do all day long. That will get you the most consistent work on Upwork, is being fast. And for the love of God, listen to what they have to say. I have so many freelancers that come to me and say, yeah, I just had the best prospect call. I told them everything about me, blah, blah, blah. And it turns out they didn't get the job. Well, why? I ask them, well, what percentage did you talk versus the prospect? Well, I was doing most of the talking. 80% of the talking was me and 20% them. That's the reason why. If you listen to what they say, if they pour their heart out to you, if they tell you all their pain points and what they're looking for, that's the best thing you can do, is just let them talk and listen. I do, after every one of my calls, I do what's called an AAR, an after action review. It's something we do in the military. I was in the Army for 8 years. I got my Army shirt on right now, actually. And we always do an AAR whenever we get done with a battle exercise, a movement exercise in the field. We evaluate what could have been done better. Okay, you can do that in your business too. After action review, when I get done with prospect calls, one of my components is to how well did I listen to what they have to say? And I have criteria. Do you know all their pain points? Do you know what success looks like? Do you know their goals? All those things is something that I evaluate, because if I find out at the end of the call that I talked too much, I know for a fact that I'm most likely not going to get that job, because all they did was listen to me. You're going to have a chance to sell yourself, believe me. And you don't have to, quote unquote, sell yourself like a billboard, but you can talk and tell them your experience. but 80% at least of the call should be listening to them talk. Okay. Make your cover letter short and actionable. I told you that I was going to be giving you some of my stats. I have studied my own statistics in various aspects of it, and one of those aspects is our shorter cover letters better than longer cover letters. And a cover letter here I'm referring to as a bid. So I make my cover letters now short and sweet because of this statistic. I analyzed several dozen cover letters. They get a higher response rate than the longer ones. You got to think about prospects are reviewing many job applicants at once. They want something that's short, that's sweet, that they can see when they first open your cover letter, that they don't have to read 9 paragraphs to get to the end of what you're trying to say, okay? They see 4 or 5 sentences, well-structured, exactly what they want to hear. Get them to the next stage of the funnel, which is getting on the phone call. Too many freelancers try to sell you everything all at once and say, when are we going to start? You don't want to skip steps here. You're asking the girl to marry you on the first date. That's not going to get you many yeses, okay? Probably not the best analogy, but it is true. If you ask a girl to marry you on your first date, you're not going to get too many people to say yes. So what you want to do is just focus on getting to the next stage in that funnel, and that is getting them on the phone, okay? Be friendly and open to calls. This is the last tip I have for you. I can't tell you when I'm hiring freelancers how many times I get on a call and I just don't want to talk to this person anymore. They're grumpy. It's almost like I'm taking time away from them. I'm just listening to their spiel or their sales pitch. They didn't ask me about my business. They didn't ask me about the project. They didn't ask me what goals, what success looks like, nothing like that. They just start talking. And I'm like, this isn't the type of person I want to work with. So the first thing you have to do is be friendly. How do you do that? The way I open up many of my calls is, hi, I'm like Volkin. Thanks for taking the time to schedule a call with me. Is this still a good time to talk? Why is that sentence so important? Because right off the bat, if you are asking if it's still a good time to talk, you are being respectful of their time. And that is being friendly and respectful. That's what you want. That's definitely what you want to do. And for the love of God, be open to calls, okay? Always ask for that follow-up call. Always ask for that follow-up call or you won't get it. Open to call. So at the end of the call, you're going to say, hey, listen, I know I owe you a proposal. I know I owe you a sample. I know I owe you whatever. Can we reconvene, have another call on Wednesday or 3 days from now? Is noon good for you? Is 2 p.m. good for you? Ask for that call or you most likely won't get it. So if you want consistent work on Upwork, hope these tips help because they will. Have a good day.